of the week, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially Saturday. It's the weekend. We have the big march going on at the moment. I know, crazy. I didn't go. I don't know. I don't really. I probably support the rights and everything, but like, I don't know. I don't. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I guess people will kind of say like, "Why didn't you go down?" Part of me was like scared as well. I'm not even gonna lie. I know that sounds really bad because it's like that's kind of what they want you to do. I know that I can make loads of excuses like logistics, uh, but then it's even just no offense. I know it is really important to like you can show up, and I know like my logic's just gonna not make sense because of what I'm gonna say. But it's like there's 3 million people there. Um, so me being there, I'm just an ant in a hurricane. Um, I know it sounds a bit rude for an offense, and I know it just kind of, but like I don't like crowds anyway. I don't like sort of meeting people. I know that sounds really horrible. But like, you know, when you hear people say like, "Oh, it's usually women, believe it or not, they're like, I'm the most introverted person you've ever met." They're not. They mean that like they spend an evening or a couple of evenings like, but they'll still like go to a a Pilates class, and they'll still like speak to their friends all the time on social media and on the phone or on Face or whatever. I don't know what people do nowadays, or go into work and stuff. But for me, I'm not. I will make as much of an effort to not go to the office as much as I can because it's just. I don't know in my opinion, it's just unless you've got there's an absolute great reason for me to go in. I'm not going to go in on like half measures. You just can't. I think that like that almost boomer mentality is just gone now because like as again it's like younger and younger people coming into the workforce and they just are so much more relaxed about it because they don't have that trauma is the word where it's like you have an old 60 70 year old like CEO and he has the trauma because he didn't get to work from home when he was like younger so he's not going to let other people do it because it's like that's like the thing. But then it's like once those people every year, older people just like get replaced. So you just have a younger person. Like anyone who's like a Zoomer is probably just not gonna care really, unless it's like they hate you or there's just some absolute perfect reason that makes sense. Like even just like oh, I like the think tank collabing with like in person. Even that's not good enough because I would just argue, well, actually, I'd be better when I'm at like in my home because I'm not like stressing out about all these stuff distracting me in the office. I'll actually like think better because I'm like more comfortable at home. I know you might not, but that's the beauty. That's why life is brilliant because we're different people, and that's what people don't understand. They just get one rule for me, so I think this way, so everybody thinks this way. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's not gonna win you the best possible, is it? Um, but yeah, and again, like, I don't really. I mean, I do see my parents every week. I'll give them that, but only for like about an hour or so. But aside from that, I'm just sort of like even this. It's the most depressing chat. I've been doing this for like a couple of years. Barely ever speak to anyone. Like, maybe that's just because I've got a really like maybe I have like a really like all 16 people who follow me. They're just all like in America. And they just don't want to tune in because it's like it'd be like no morning at the moment. So it's just like even though they know I'm live, they just think I'll watch it later on because I can't be bothered to. And then you know what the worst thing I've actually heard is that a lot of people don't like joining people's stream when they're the only person because they feel like awkward about it. And I'm just like great. So it's like you can't even win. It's like if you're a small streamer. no one wants to join your stream because they're feeling bad. Like I heard this is a massive like thing. It's just like people get really, and it makes sense, I suppose, and I get it as well. If you join someone's chat and they start like talking to you, you're like, oh for fuck's sake. I mean, I try not to do that. Also, I never call people out because I don't even have that information. It doesn't, for me, it will just say like two people have entered my stream, but I don't think it ever says like who it is. So I'd never go, oh, welcome to the stream, uh, Bong Lord 88. Like, only if you ask me a question will I. So if you say hi, I'll say hi back, and I might just ask you something. But I think that's what's happening. That's what happens. Is like people don't like that. They actually just want to sit and watch. Fine, but then just don't ask the question. Also on white, and it's been proven, just like white people aren't like racist, so they'll happily like join Asian people, Hispanic, or black people. Black people don't like white people the most, so you're probably not gonna really get a lot of, as a white person, you're not gonna get a lot of black fans because it's just unfortunately it's been proven. It's just there's very like they just will go for their own, and that's why they've been used in the music industry because like you just get like rappers and yeah they'll get white fans because they prop them up as being cool. Um, but I think this is what people are starting to wake up to. This is what I mean. Is that this is the boomers are going now. They're not like my dad's like a boomer now. Is like a boomer. And he's been retired for a while. He's getting on now. He's probably maybe got like 10, 15 years left. So that isn't really that long. That's like 2040. Well, pretty much that will be like, yeah, the boomers will like cease to exist. And then you're gonna get a huge like transfer of like, because yeah, there will be some inherit, or there will be a lot of inheritance because the boomers have all the money, all the most of it. That's why like the government at the moment are trying to like find any greasy way to like try to tax and like inheritance or like any money you get because they know that that's going to be the next big way they can try and clean up this 50 billion black hole they've got. Is that, well, if we just take all the money from the farmers and people who've got the money, and I think the rich celebrities who've got the money to do so, they've all fucked off. They've all gone to like a different country. Like Ed Sheeran, he recently went, and I think he was like campaigning for Labour to come in. But I can't argue because I don't think anyone would have voted for Labour. To be fair, if we had the mirror and could see where they are now, no one. But this is the problem that we're having. It's just I think like you can't have. It's just almost like you can't have governments or I feel like there should be a law. If you're making a manifesto and it says all this shit, I think you should just like it should just be called like political fraud. If you're just like as soon as you get put into power, you just don't do any of it. And I know like the reasons why will be because well you have to like be able to make some changes or whatever. I just think if it's just so in your face, um, like they're just not doing what they've said they were going to do. How can you just possibly not be annoyed at that? um, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just going to be a case that there was just something really weird going on, and I can't put my finger on it, but there just has to be a reason why these Pakistani grape groups are just being ignored. And that's got to be a couple of theories I have. And now, again, these are all just allegations. I have no proof. These are all just kind of hunches because unfortunately we'll probably never find out because everything's just going to be done so clandestine and so like hidden, and it's just if there's money being changed around, it's all just going to be done like probably like sleazy crypto and shuffled around. But it's there's just a couple of things where I'm thinking, hmm, because these, especially because we've got our king seems to have some strange affiliation to the royal to Islam, and I don't feel like any other of the monarchs seem to have had that influence. But then you also have Jeffrey Epstein, who was like Jewish, uh, and he just clearly seemed to have been like the main dude who was, yeah, um, essentially trafficking, yeah, like underage girls. And it's like, I don't know if it's just there is an actual pedophilic epidemic, and it is just like because I can hand on heart say to you that I am not attracted to like underage women at all, and I'm talking even like we're gonna like because I know people blur the lines, but I'm saying like not even like because I know like in England 16 is, but I would never even dare like even, and I know a lot of men will like might look at me and say that's strange, and that might be it. But I'm just saying to you now, like I would never even sleep with like probably an 18 or 19-year-old. Like probably at my age, like I'm in my mid 30s, maybe like 23, 24. Mostly just because um I feel like I don't know. I don't think I could possibly relate to someone who was as young as like 20, 19, 18. It's crazy, but that's the thing. So there is either just like a something that I don't get, and other, loads of blokes probably must do, where they just are like sexually attracted to just like women when they enter puberty, and they just see it in their brain as a bloke. It's just like, well, when a woman has their period, I think that should be fair game because it's like that's nature telling you that's when to do it. And that, maybe that is just it. Like some blokes are just kind of like that's their logic. Again, I'm just trying to make sense of it because I, again, as a bloke, you can, and I'm willing to do that. Check my all my stuff. I'll happily submit it because I'm, and I have got nothing to hide. Um, that there's like, um, there just seems to be potentially just this small percentage of men. And I got to be careful here because we're going to go into like the caveats. I'm talking about in sort of the Western civilizations where paedophilia is completely punishable as it should be legally. Um, Same with like other SA crimes to women. Then it's like, well, you've got the rest of the world, and then you're going to say, well, that's the rest of the world, right? But the rest of the world isn't the rest of the world anymore, is it? Because we're all blending and we're all putting people into things, which is the beauty of diversity, isn't it? It's like okay, so now if you bring a guy from Afghan over, let's say hypothetically this guy from Afghan, he's already married to like a 12-year-old girl, and that does happen. He might even have a few. Now he's in the UK. If he, if him and his wife, all legal, have consummate their marriage, is he breaking the law? And I think this is the big problem we're having is that you've got like the judges. No, no, they're not necessarily going to be Islam, Muslim. I'm not even going to say that. A lot of them are probably white. But the problem is we're starting to learn now that what's happening is every people being radicalized in leftist organizations, which appear to be predominantly, education. So if you want to become a doctor or judge or any of these, you're going to have to go through the liberal left wing, uh, what do you call it, like factory, where you're going to be being taught by leftist doctor, professors and teachers, and they're all going to just be telling you the same kind of thing. And it seems like what's happening is like the left just seems to be very, very like against disrupting anything that like is a straight, I hate using that term, like cis white male, like any sort of like classic, like Charlie Kirk, anyone who's like that, a sort of a sort of model citizen, white man who just is trying to like make the world better. Uh, and the contention just seems to mostly be white people just want to live by with other white people, and that's it. And the only people who seem to really be complaining about it are the people of color who are coming from countries where it's not very good. And that's basically what it is. It's just like the minorities want us. They want our resources, and they want the free gravy train ticket because they know how good it is. Um, but the problem is like we've done it too early. Like maybe if like yeah, we did live in some kind of like utopian society where like we had an abundance of money, that could have worked. We might start doing that. We might be like, go on then, come on over. We can just like afford for you to, but we can't. It's just we can't do it. So you've just got basically a lot of like these leftist judges, because I don't know how are you gonna have like a right-leaning judge if he's like unless I don't know maybe they I can't say that all judges are bad, but what you're finding is that the people who are doing like the court and court hearings for like these immigrants, they will be from like special uh, immigrant lawyers, and it's like, oh, they're just going to be the most leftist of all. So what they'll be doing is they will give them a really, really like lenient punishment because like the argument will just be, well, Ahmed didn't know he wasn't allowed to do that because he's an illegal immigrant. And it's the first time he ever saw a white woman, so he was really excited. And they probably will put his intelligence into it and say because he's very stupid as well, he probably won't be a harm to anyone else because he now knows he shouldn't do it. Look how sorry he is. And that's exactly what's happening. And then because they just believe him. And this is what I don't get. It's just that I think the left have just been like, they're using emotion, not logic. And other nations are just abusing them. They're basically just like, yeah, they're just lying. They literally are lying in court. And they don't care because they just don't care because, um, I think someone said like, they don't have anything to lose for one. And also like they just don't care because they're not from this country. If we don't understand what's going on, as far as they're concerned, they just want to come here and just sort of like get drunk, steal, and they want to. The white women are like the most desired women in the world. Like people again will say Asians are, but I think from like the polls, it does seem it is white women, then Asian women, and then Indian women, and then black women. So Indian men are the most undesired men. Black women are the most undesired women. And I think white men and white women are the most desired. And that's again, it's like that's why like Indian guys are so angry at white people because they know like, all of the Indian women fancy white guys, and it's true. And all the Indian women get angry at uh, get angry at them because they all fancy the white women. And it's so true. It's like that's why, like, no offense, it's just true. It's just the internet's just turned like India into like a self-hating country, and that's what I just notice. It's just like when you interact with them on like X, they're just so angry, and it's like I just talk to them with just like because I'm not rolled up by them because I'm almost pity them because I understand it. They're just angry because they live in a terrible country. It probably stinks of poo, and I'm sorry, like that's not racist. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I've seen so many videos of them doing it, and it's just like it's mad. Someone even like on 4chan, I saw like a thread on X. Someone like reposted it, like took a screenshot, and it was like someone had made a game where it was like go on like Google Maps, when you go on like the car view, street view, and he said try to like see if you're able to like it's not like cut through in India without seeing any poo on the road, and it was just impossible. We just said like you just always end up seeing like loads of people just doing it with poo just like on the road. It's just absolutely grim, and that's the thing. That's just going to spread so much disease. They don't understand. It's like the first thing like the Victorians kind of understood was like, right, we can't keep taking shits in the Thames. We had this issue. I'm not even kidding. The Thames had that problem in like the 1800s. And then we realised that the Thames just started to like die, and even to this day, it's still basically one of the most polluted things we've got in this country. But it's still leagues more better than the Ganges. And the Ganges is just absolutely insane. It's like, oh my God, I never step in that. You couldn't pay me to step in that. Absolutely couldn't. Again, I know this is a different place. I'm not trying to be racist, but I just see like in when you see Asians, I just say you've got like the Chinese Asians, you've got Japanese Asians, then you've got Korean Asians, you've got kind of like the Filipino sort of Micronesia Asians, Mauis, and then you've got like um it's sort of like India, uh, and I'd say like the Indians are sort of like I know it is racist, but I don't care because they call white people Europeans. They'll call me white European. I'm from Britain, but they'll say I'm European, and you know that if you're from Britain, that's well, it is a bit insulting, isn't it? But who cares? I don't care because we don't carry this massive like chip on our shoulder of like insecurity because we're an inferior race. But um, yeah, it's just like the Ganges River is like so covered in feces. It's like I think there was like a guy who took a drink from it and he died. He just got like botulism and just died. It's like they put their bodies in there as well. So whichever genius is at their in their party in their government decided to flood the Ganges with flesh-eating turtles, which I didn't even know how they would survive for one, because I don't think anything should be able to survive in that. Like in all seriousness, and it has been that river it's been categorized as dead. And that's really like depressing. Like you've actually managed to kill kill a huge source of like that is fucking impressive. Like it's dead. It's just like they said, it's just dead and nothing can grow in it. But anyway, the turtles didn't even do anything. They just, just put the turtles in there and I probably just died. Just died because how could you live in it? Yeah, they're just so angry. They always just like get resort to ins ad hominems trying to like destabilize you, trying to like, it's just crabs in a bucket, and it's like I always just say to them like, man, I'm just so sorry you feel this way. I know you really want to like have sleep with all white women, but I'm sorry, I'm sorry, like, and this is just why we can't work together because it's just apparent. It's just apparent that like no Indian people don't really like us. They're envious. They're jealous. Yeah, they do have like space stuff. Yeah, they do have nuclear missiles. Yeah, I'm not taking that away from them. But still, it's just their whole country is just seen as a bit of a joke. I'm sorry. Like they have beautiful cultures in some places, but I don't know. They might just have a situation where they've just overpopulated. That's just maybe what it is. But until they can sort out like the serious like irrigation and just having like what do you call it like oh, that's not the word I'm looking for. What's it called? Like septic? No, it's like sanitation. Yeah, sanitation. You just can't go there. You just like to go there. You just need so many injections because there'll just be and there's not even to mention you. Yeah, you've got like poisonous shit that lives there as well. It's like really hot. Um, the food. Yeah, and everyone's gonna cherry pick these bars. I know. I've seen stuff. I've seen what it's really like. I haven't seen the gaslit stuff, the propaganda, and it's ironic because that's what they always say. When you ever like argue with them, like the Indians, like you get probably like I normally only give someone like a comment, like I'll say a comment, someone says a rebuttal, and I might give like one slap back, sometimes two if it's like a decent comeback, but generally I just know when I'm just arguing with someone who's usually it's not very intelligent, so they're just never gonna say no. They're just gonna always reply, and then you'll never get the last say, and they'll just come up with the most crazy crap. And they always say, "Oh, you're the one who's been fed all the propaganda, all those videos." I'm just like, "No, what are you talking about? Absolutely not." The propaganda is like watching like is like the propaganda. Sorry, is actually, ironically, when we knew about India before we had access to social media, before we actually did know what it was like. And I don't know if it necessarily was that bad in like 20 years ago, but I'm just saying, like, I think the internet was the worst thing that ever happened to India because it's just so many channels have just gotten really famous from exposing Indian scammers and just it's just become the joke of just like we know just everyone in India. No, or we just assume everyone from India is just dishonest because you might as well just it's just to be safe. Like, what choice do you have? Like, of course they're gonna say whatever. Of course they're gonna say like India's the most vibrant and they've got the smartest people and they've got the sexiest men and their brains are the biggest and all this whatever. They'll just say whatever, and that's what you got to remember. And that's what I notice now as a white person. People are just gonna say whatever they can so that they can deceive you, and that's what people are starting to wake up to now. They just know that people just say whatever. No one actually. That's why you got to believe what people do, not what people say, and that's what people are starting to wake up to. They're just realizing now that like politicians are just saying things to us and they're not doing the things they're saying, and people are starting to get pissed off about that because there just doesn't seem to be any accountability for it and no discipline. Yeah, and it just seems like the left are just full of like people who just don't want white people to succeed. So it's just, I think it's just a psyops that's just been filled with just like either Russia, either China, either Islam. Those are the three kind of people who have very, very happily put loads of money into like, social engineering. And that's what I think they've done. They've just like, they've infiltrated like Reddit and then they LARP and they pretend that they're like European by watching all of our content and studying us. And then they'll just convince you to like do stupid things like stuff that isn't like go through trans change your gender because they want that to happen. They think it's funny. They'll be or they might even just be agents. They might be CCP agents from China and they just actually think it's funny. Oh no, it's not funny, it's the part of their job. They'll be like, so we've done it, we've managed to like transform another couple of radicalized agents, sleeper agents into brilliant, yeah, fantastic, and it gets paid like couple thousand yuan, I think the currency is. Yuan. Oh, it depends where you are, because Hong Kong have Hong Kong dollars. Yeah, Hong Kong, yeah, whatever. I've been there. I remember. I remember trying to use yuan, and the women going looking at me weird. And then we went to this the bar called it was called like a British themed pub, and we went there for like because we were so like sick of Asia. Um, and you get to pay premium for English food, which is great. It's just like a slap to the face because then the food's not even cooked as well, so you get full English, and it's like the fuck are these? The sausage is always wrong. Always like some weird like chipolatas or like chorizo or something, and there's like they don't have like waffles. They just give you chips. It's like, that's the same thing, isn't it? It's like it's not because otherwise, why would it be a different thing? You just eat chips. Um, so yeah, it's just like you gotta just be careful because everyone's using the internet and no one really knows who they're talking to, and people are just gonna lie to you, and that's the thing. Like you can see me, I'm a British guy. Look, I'm right here. This could be AI. That's true, but I can verify it if you need. But that's what the problem is. You need that. You almost need to just have like everyone can be anonymous, right? Maybe you don't see their face, but everyone's just verified, so you just know at least the country and the age. That so you can still have a funny picture of a smiley face as your avatar, but it's just like when you say a comment, it will just say smiley face or anime. It's usually like a hentai girl or character, and it'll be like India male 28, and then you just like immediately it just removes so much just like discourse because then you can just like have it'd be easier for you to understand why would this person want to be doing this. And I think that already would mitigate like a lot. Even if you go as far as saying, okay, the if you don't even want like people from Britain to do it or US, that's fine. then you have to force people from other countries to do it, and it might again just quell a lot of the issues. Why not? It's an American site, so they can do that. So if you're not like a UK, US citizen, you have to submit to some KYC, which they do in all blockchains, and they would have all done it because India love their crypto. So they can't sit around and say, "Well, I don't have any ID," because they all you have to if you want to be on the blockchain. Um, anything you can just know, and I just think that will just remove a lot. Because we're losing a sense of identity, and that's the problem. We're losing a sense of identity because we're trying to like be inclusive to all these cultures, and then we're not realizing that some of these cultures overlap. So you're getting people who like want to support Palestine, uh, and then they like also might be like shocked at what happened with Charlie Kirk, and it's like, okay, well I guess they're not related. And then I'm trying to make maybe that's not the best example, but you know what I mean. It's like sometimes you're just getting these people who are just like white people have been almost propaganda too much to be guilty about being white. And again, this is all like psyops by like probably China and because I was gonna say Russia probably wouldn't because they wouldn't go down that route because they are white. But it's probably China and black people as well, probably people from Africa as well. Just people just trying to like mess with like because every I'm not kidding. This is the funny thing is I haven't really had to think about this because I don't walk around every day with again this massive chip on my shoulder that anytime I'm seeing like any black or Asian people that I think they're gonna try and kill me, and that's unfortunately what I've learned that actually is what a lot of these minorities think, or not even that, or they're going to hurt me, and that's why they lash out. It's because they're paranoid. They think everyone's going to lash out at them, so they become the people who lash out because they just think like anytime a white person says something to them, they're being oppressed, and it sort of triggers like this fight or flight, and that's kind of seems to be like what the problem is. But yeah, white people have like been walking around, and we've been taught that everyone's thinking the same as us, and it's not. It's just inherently not. I've just seen too much anecdotal evidence online, especially in videos, where it's just very clear that like um, if something happens to like a white person, just a lot, no minorities will ever really call out. They won't care. But if anything happens to a minority, they'll come out. They'll come out with the pitchforks. It's just white people like seem to be the only race where that's different, and it's been proven. I've got data. I've got like on X. I always share it. It's like a chart, and it shows white people are the only race where we don't have like a bias against others, which is why we're able to be influenced because the other races know that, so they can like pull on our women's heartstrings and some of our men because they know like but I'm not kidding. Like if your brain, you took your brain out and put it in like a guy from Afghanistan, he's not gonna like look at the white person and be like, oh yes, he's my friend. I want to work with him. He'll be thinking, oh, I'm just jealous of this guy. I hate these. I don't. I'm like, I'm annoyed that like my country's just still like bombed to hell, and he'll probably hate you because he'll blame the bombings and stuff, which I can't get into that too much because I don't even know all the necessarily all the information to make a fair assessment on that. But you know what I mean. So it's like he won't think that. He'll just be like, oh, I just wish I could be him, and maybe if I like conquer him, then I'll be able to take it and breed with their women. And that's what they want because everyone likes the white women the most. They don't like their own women. They only like their own women because like a lot of the Muslim countries, like it's just they're forced to just get married, and but a lot of them just either have multiple wives or they still have wives, and it's I've seen it like on Pete the predator catchers. They have like a wife already, and he'll just be going out like talking to like 13-year-old girls, and they get caught by the pedo hunters, and he'll be like, "So you've got a wife and you're doing this?" And he's just like, "Yeah." And then they'll call up the wife, and she won't care. She'll just because in their religion, it's just that she knows like that's what they're doing. He's doing. She might be surprised at the age, but she won't because she's from Muslim, and that's probably how old she was, maybe even a bit older. So to her, she just thinks that he's cheating, but she won't care because that's okay in their faith because men are allowed to just do whatever because he's allowed to like. I'm not joking. He's allowed to like if she tried to lash out, he'd be, or try and run away. She can get stoned or killed, and it'd just be an honor killing. and that's what's happening. Hi, I'm good. I'm sort of having a very like you might say a right conversation, just kind of going into stuff. But I'm good. How are you this fine Saturday? Oh, I don't know because I don't know if I'm allowed to ask questions because I was actually just saying that a lot of people they say they join these streams and then they actually don't like people talking, so they just want to sit and hear the person doing whatever. I mean, you might not even be real. That's a good chance. I know it shouldn't really be. Yeah, you're not real. You're a bot. What does 2 plus 2 equal? I forgot. 2 plus 2? Yeah, you're a bot. This is what I mean. It's like just yelling into the void. So someone joined my chat and it's just like the classic bot. So it's a female name, but you can just tell it's like a bot already. The name because it's just Maria Smith 149. Okay. Yeah. Even I'm not going to be stupid enough to like put my username as just my full name, so I just dox myself. Just make it that little bit easier just for people to dox me. They just come on your chat and they just like ask questions, but no matter what you actually respond to them, they always just go, "That's great." And then they just after like 6 messages, they just start to like shill some shitty art thing they do. It's like, okay. And it's like, this is what Twitch has just turned into. It's like, if you talk, well, I'm probably banned for like what I've just, I'll get banned for Islamophobia. I probably will. I probably get banned for this. I'm not, I'm not big enough, but I'm sure if I said this for a good enough audience, this would get banned immediately. Like that rhetoric I had. Nothing. I just think you're a bot because I've been in this game a long time, and it's the same old thing. Your name's a bit bait. Uh, your questions seem to be very robotic. You might be a human, but I'm going to assume that you're asking for something. Am I right in saying that you're going to ask me to download some art or help me with my program? Is that right? Am I right? I'm using like my clairvoyance powers. You're going to ask me that you're a graphic designer and you can help me with, you got some really exciting art. Even though AI exists, I could just type in like do me a banner and just put my face in and it'll do me some pretty sick ones. You want me in 2025 to pay you, a human who is probably going to use AI, to make a graphic design. Yet you don't realize, again, I've got all these pictures that I drew. These pictures, by the way, I know they're not originals, but I'm just telling you, I have the capability to draw. But continue, because you might be right. I might be wrong, but it's just I've done this for like 2 years, and because I'm not the right skin complexion, so people don't like me. I know that, but well, I'm not allowed to say because it'll be big-headed, but there's a type of white man who gets famous, and they're not normally look like me. They're normally like bald or got some kind of unattractive hairstyle, like really long, greasy hair. Usually, like the very like awkward-looking features. Usually very gangly. Usually love like anime games or hentai games, and I know why. Do you want to know my 2 cents why? I cracked the enigma. You want to know why they've made YouTube CEO an Indian bloke? It wasn't just a coincidence. It's like when the Pope gets elected. Yeah, I know you're an artist. I told you I can see the future. It's like when the Pope was elected, they decided very carefully to make him the British, an American Pope, because they knew that there was going to be they know that there is a current Islam versus Christianity going on, and they would have said that they would have been like, oh, it might have been good to put it in the black guy because he was quite high up in the runnings, but I think unfortunately now they made the right choice there because I know a lot of Christianity is, but I think. I don't know. Okay, I agree. Fine, you're not a bot. I agree, but you're probably gonna start asking me for stuff. And I know I've got all these rich figures, right? And yep, and I'm white, so you probably think I've got all this gold, but I don't. I'm pretty moderate. I don't live in a mansion. Don't have like a fancy car. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, like I was born white, but I haven't got anything I can give you, I'm afraid. So you're wasting your time. If you don't want to listen to my rhetoric, then you must leave. You gotta go home. So it's because India they've just overflowed the internet. There's just so many of them. They've got more population than Europe, North America, Canada, and that includes Russia, by the way. I think that's it, and some. So essentially, they have more people than all white people. I think they've got 50% more people than white people. So there's like 800 million white people in the whole world, and I think they are verging on about like 1.6, 1.5 billion. It's just actually out of control. And that also goes into YouTube. And I've noticed it. I've noticed like using certain phrases like against Indian slurs gets you like instantly like cyberbullying notice. So one of the weirdest ones is, I don't even know if I can say it, but I don't even think it's a rude word. So I'll say a name there with it in it. So like Prajit. If you know someone could put Prajit. But anyway, like a part of that word is now a banned word. Like if you say it on X, you just immediately like you'll get like a warning, and if you do it too much, they'll ban you. And I wonder what demographic decided that had to be done, which had so many people that they just flood inboxes because they've got WhatsApp groups where they just had hundreds and thousands of them in there, and they'll just put like, if they see like someone dissing India, they'll just put their picture on it, and they'll say just mass report them, and they have these bots that do it. And this is why people this is why like white people are being like drowned out. And that's what they want to do. They don't want to put people like white people in the powerful jobs. They don't want to put them in government. They don't want to do that. They're all trying to destabilize it. They're trying to like cut it all out. They don't want to. I just think that should be apparent, though. I mean, I just don't. I don't know how often do you go to a comedy bar and then you start trying to sell the comedian I don't know, cleaning utensils. You just don't do it. Like, I'm on a stream. You know what I mean? So, fine, yeah, you're right. But then, what else do I have to write? Do I have to write, I don't need, like, a lawyer. I don't need, like, whatever. I just assume that did you go onto Moist Critical stream and do you say that to them? Do you go, hey, Moist? I mean, you wouldn't get heard, but you probably get banned as well, because I think it's illegal. I don't think it's not illegal. I don't think you're meant to solicit your own stuff on people's streams. See, guys, that's the white guilt again. Everything's the white guy's fault. It was my fault, because I didn't say I shouldn't have put a digital artist on there. But it's okay. It's alright. I'm immune to it now. I'm Thanos with the Infinity Stones. I've got all of like the social taboo. I'm like racist, bigot, Islamophobic, transphobic, paedophile, misogynist. Those are like all of them. Got all the power stones. As a white man, you get them like as you go through like social media. But the first couple you get hurt, but once you get to like my level where you've got them all, like, to the level, the sick one, you become very powerful, and you just like it's just war off a duck's back. You just go online, you get Indian people saying you're a pedo, and it's like, I know what you guys do. You can't convince me. You know, like the biggest trick the biggest gaslighting we saw is, you know, when you watch like The Simpsons and you see like Apu, and it's like they always do like funny like the racist, like it's him and his wife, and they're both like kids getting married. That is not what how they do at all. It's not. That's the gaslighting. Apu would have still been like an adult, and he would have married his like child bride. That's actually how it is, and they'll gaslight you into like saying that's not. But then, okay, let's play it the other way. Let's say like that joke. So we've got two kids who are going to get married. So is that equally any better? That we're going to have potentially like, we'll have two 10-year-olds who might try and have intercourse. Okay, so you don't tell me. And that's the thing. The Western world are like the only place which actually enforces this, because then again these cultures don't have words for it, and that's why they don't work in Western worlds, because how like, people from these countries will always show the essay stats from like Wikipedia, and they'll say, look, all the Muslim countries are actually the lowest, and it's like, yeah, dumb, because they don't have a phrase for that. What, you can't go to the police and report essay if there's no essay, and they go, that's not how it works, and I was like, it is 100% how it works. I've just absolutely completely destroyed your argument. We're the only countries, the white nations are the only ones recording it, and the only reason they're going up is because people from the places where they don't understand. So everything, again, you're hearing online, it's just people from lower, who aren't white, and they don't like it. They see us as like the guys in Utopia, and they want to pull us down. They don't want it. They want to have a shit. Everyone wants to have a rip at us. Everyone wants to call the white people losers and the pedos and Islamophobes, and it's not. They're all projecting. They're the biggest racists. They will go on like their streams, and they'll have like on their discords, and they'll have like loads and loads and loads of anti like white shit, and it'll just be like, and don't get me wrong, like as a white guy myself, I do find racist stuff sometimes can be quite funny, but I don't obsessively make it my like MO to just like do, and I'm not thinking about it as much as people are saying, "Oh, you are," but it's because it's just become very topical. I'm only really thinking about it in the last kind of a couple of weeks or a month where things have really started to like go, okay, I think I actually need to really start thinking about because I've got kids, and it's like I need to think very carefully about where this country is going, because to hell I'm going to be a minority in my own country when Muslims have got like 26 other countries. Why do they need another one? And why do they need specifically one with nuclear weapons? Which is very interesting, isn't it? Because again, it's all like that's what they want to do. Probably want to get nukes, and then they'll just fire them indiscriminately at Israel. That'll just be what happens. I'm actually very surprised Pakistan hasn't done that, because they're the sort of they are just that's my honest opinion, and I actually think that is maybe why. So we're going back to tinfoil mode, and this is it. Well, I don't know. This is like a tinfoil, and again, it'll never get proven. Why is it that Pakistanis have so much influence in the UK? Well, let me take you on a special, So, when I was doing my research, I was like interested, because I was like, well, hang on a minute. I know that the world has done a very good job preventing the Middle East from having any nuclear weapons. So I typed in Gleeflio, and so I was like, what countries in the Middle East have nuclear weapons? And there was one result. Or two if you technically count Turkey. But I don't think that really counts. But anyway, it's like Israel. I was like, okay, well, it is like an Americans. It's been fortified by America, hasn't it? It makes sense. They're probably new American warheads. And then I was like, that didn't. that kind of like put me to rest a little bit. And then I was like, hang on a bit, I just better make sure. So I was like, the country, sorry, Muslim countries that have nukes, and I was like, again, I hit enter, and I was like, just trying to hope that it was going to be like again say zero, and it said one. I was like, oh, Pakistan. Oh, so I was like doing a bit more research into kind of like what happened with that. So from my understanding, it's like India essentially had a big conquest, if you will, of I think a lot of them converting to Islam, and I think they just then decided enough's enough, so we're just gonna like separate a big chunk of our massive, colossal area we have, and just you're gonna be Pakistan, and it's just a Muslim country. Um, and for some reason, they somehow got their hand on some nukes, and that's the big thing where I'm like, okay, that's a bit scary. So actually, Muslim countries do have access to nuclear weapons then, because how are we stopping? Are we properly making sure they're not transporting any of those to other Muslim countries? Because they would, and maybe that explains again why, like, yeah, they have like the got the navy spread out all across the world. That kind of makes sense. And then it's like, I mean, this is where it gets really crazy because like what I'm saying is just so crazily hyperbolic. It's like, but it just makes you think, doesn't it? Is it possible that like Pakistan just basically like have just said to the world stage, look, we really don't care like what's going to happen to Pakistan because again, there's 26 Muslim countries, but we will just like fire all our nukes into like to Israel because who cares? Like that's like their dream. It's just they don't care because in that would still be a victory for them because then all the Jews would like they would lose their land. Like Palestine, it gets to like rule, and they probably wouldn't even care. They just gets like yeah, they don't care if it got incinerated and it was just like radioactive like wasteland. They just wouldn't care. They'd still just be really happy to like have it. But the problem, obviously, with that would be like, okay, that would be hugely catastrophic because, firstly, yeah, all the Jews would die, and we just couldn't have that, could we? Like, basically having two Holocausts, that would be absolutely brutal. So, and again, I have no idea, like, there's no way to back it up. So, as a result, we've had to make a deal with them to basically say you can have your men come round and all your elites can come round and we'll just give you full access to as many white women, girls even, that you want, and we'll give you preferential treatment. Yeah, that's where it gets a bit fishy because you're right. Because I guess like, why would America do anything? But America may not know, which sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it feels like all of the European leaders, especially when they were in like Trump's room and they were just getting like lectured, it did almost feel like they all knew something that he doesn't. And I know that could just be anything, because they just, but there's almost like this look of just like they know that there's just something that's just absolutely they can't do anything, and they know they can't tell him, and they are actually secretly really ashamed of what's happening, but they just cannot do anything. Or even crazier, they have somehow managed to like sneak like a nuclear device into like London or something like that, and they threaten to just use it if uh, I have no idea. Some shit happens. But again, you'd be saying, well, obviously that's where they all live. Well, a lot of them do. But again, they do, this is where we got. It's like these are not people who are gonna like use logic or reasoning. They don't care. They'll just act on the whim of this god who just says that they have to kill. Like, and I just think when I found out that there is a nuclear country that does, and I think a lot of people don't seem to remember that know that because I go on X a lot and they always post that JD Vance quote of JD Vance who's saying like the UK has to worry. We have to start getting really concerned about the direction the UK is going because um, if we can't afford to have them turn it into a Muslim country with nuclear weapons. And then you go in the comments and that, and people are going like, "Oh my God, could you imagine that there was a country a Muslim country that had nukes? Like they would just use them. Probably have just blown up. It just shoot them at Israel right now." And then I always say to them, "Pakistan has nukes." Yeah, it just goes quiet. So that could be my theory. Because why is it Pakistan? Why is Sadiq Khan there? Why is it just like this absolute level of like lobotomy where it's like, and then I'm thinking, could they not tell the people? Well, no, because if they did, there'd be riots, and that might even cause the nuclear attack because we would probably just, if we knew that was actually what was happening, yeah, we probably would just all march into London as we've done today, and probably just it'd be street event. We'd just try and take them all out because we know. And then in retaliation, they could just say fuck this, launch all the nukes into Israel. Israel, as a countermeasure, would probably immediately just fire all the nukes back into Pakistan, and then India would probably also, because they really hate Pakistan, they would probably also launch a lot, and then it'll be fucked. There'll be so much death. It'll be like probably I shouldn't even laugh, but it's like it would be really fucked, and that would just like the world would be very scared then, and then it would just you can imagine like so. That I think could be a really logical theory. Maybe it is insane. And then you're thinking, okay, so then why is like the UK still giving aid to Israel? And it's like because they have that's still part of the fast that they're. Why would they give aid to Israel then? Oh, maybe not. Ah, okay, hang on, because it's difficult. Because well, that. Yeah, maybe that is insane. Because why would they give aid to Israel? But then that again could just be like seen as just a way to like try not to raise any suspicion, I suppose. But yeah, I guess that would make sense. As they would probably just say, "Don't give any aid to Israel." And then you could say, why would they also make it so like you see Hamas as terrorists? But then that might just be again just kind of like because I still think like there are some leanings where it's like some places don't really say they're terrorists, but then I think it's just because like yeah maybe that is just it then. It's just like because they don't want Israel to like potentially yeah then maybe that's it. They don't want Israel to like know that there's anything happening, so they just say I'll just continue to support them. Um, I mean I don't know. That does sound a bit crazy. I feel like I just kind of, but it just makes you think. You're like, why is it just like so crap? Like they seem to be like the Pakistanis just seem to be able to do what they want. No one's really doing anything for it, and it's just like there's just like this like almost like cold stare that all the people have, where it's like Is it that they have like some massive linchpin over us? And that's what I'm saying. It is Muslim Islam, and they just will do anything. And it's funny because The Simpsons even made a joke about it. There's an episode where they go into the future, and it's like where Bart and Lisa are like Bart's like a scrounger, and he's trying to like, live off Lisa who's the president. But anyway, like there's a scene where like I think it's a wedding. Oh, no, they go to like the old people's home, and Krusty's in there because he's really old, and he's telling jokes, and he's like, "What's the difference between?" He's like, "What's the difference between like Pakistan and or Afghanistan?" He's like, "Pakistan didn't get nuked by the Indians," and like that's like one of these again, like these one of these things where like the geniuses who wrote The Simpsons are actually again they as soon as they heard maybe when they grew up that a Muslim country has now got nukes, he tweaked and just went, okay, that's definitely going to be something we have to address. So it might very well be that what we're seeing, I'm not even kidding, is the world stage is basically just doing that meme with like the Office where they're all holding guns at each other because you've got now a Muslim state that has a nuclear weapons, and they're just saying bold-facedly, you better do what we say. If you don't, we're just going to shoot all. I think they got like 90 nukes. We'll just shoot all of them. It does, good luck trying to stop all 90 of them. And if you just blow up a whole country, okay, we've got like 26 other countries. Allah will praise us all because we've taken out the Jewish land. We'll be bathed and we'll go blow up in fire, but at least we've taken out like the Jewish Holy Land. And that might actually be very well what it is, and that's actually why you might find like Israel has like got that many nukes now because it's like the same amount. It's going to try and retaliate. Because America would be a bit too far away, and that's probably the problem. Because Pakistan's got that like geographic issue where they know that if anything happens, uh, the only countries that are going to be close enough to do anything will be Russia, China, or India. Because the US, by the time they try and fire any like countermeasure, it'll be too late. Those missiles probably won't take that long to get there. They travel really quick. So whenever the world decided to like give Pakistan nukes, that was it. That was the stupidest thing they could have done. And again, I wasn't born for that, so I couldn't stop it. But for some reason, India decided to do that. So again, maybe we could argue that's India's fault. Like, we'll give you Pakistan, but we'll just take the nukes. No, we have to keep those. You won't use them, will you? Probably not in 50 years. I don't know when they were formed. Okay. Maybe they're really old then. They're true. They might be really old, but again, that's the risk. They might not be. That might be the one thing they just keep up maintaining because they know it's their gold ticket. And America might even know that, so America just might be like, "Oh God, we can't do anything," because if we invade Pakistan, they'll just nuke us. They'll nuke Israel. Um, if yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're screwed. So that's it. So they just said like, well, what can you give us then? Well, we'll let you and all your friends come round, and you can just do whatever you like, and we'll just give you free amnesty in our country. And it's basically what's happening. It's just like, and I wonder if that's what's going to happen as well. As soon as Reform go into power, or whoever the next people are going to be, you're going to notice they're going to be really confident and they're going to be really like, energetic about all these things. And then in a week's time, you'll see them, and they're going to look really gaunt, look like they've been lobotomized. But the reason they actually have is not because they've been lobotomized. It's because some Pakistani guys like pulled, or probably be Nigel Farage, to the side and said, "Now you're the prime minister. I'm going to show you like what's actually happening here, and you need to listen really carefully because if you and your party don't do what's best for us, we will just do this." And then That's then he'll go on stage and he'll be like, um, yeah, I had a thought about all those migrants, and to be fair, some of them are pretty good. So I'm actually deciding to keep the immigrants from coming in. And then we'll be like, what? That's not right. And then they'll cause an uprising in the country, which is kind of what's happening now. Um, and then eventually, I suppose it would get to like, maybe the people start taking action into their own hands, and that's why the police are arresting them because the police have been told by their boss um, to protect them. And the reason why is because they're actually saying we can't have any white people or natives attack these Pakistanis because if they do, Pakistan's just going to shoot all their nukes at Israel. And then Israel are going to fire all their nukes back at Pakistan. There's probably going to be like 100 nukes that are just going to go into the world. And that will probably be enough to do a fucking... Won't destroy the planet. But it depends what kind of weapons they are. They'll probably be thermal nuclear. But 100 thermal nuclear missiles? Yeah, that'll probably do a lot of... They'll destroy most of probably like... Israel will just be... Yeah, Israel will be fucked. Could the Iron Dome deflect it? Possibly. But not necessarily because some nuclear warheads, they blow up very high above the surface. Could Israel have... It might even be more conniving. It might be, we're going to shoot... That's it. They'll shoot like most of the nukes at Israel, but then they'll fire like a couple for every country in Europe. I mean, we've got the Trident system. Potentially, if that's fully operational, that might protect us, but where would they shoot? They probably would destroy London. I know that sounds really fucked. But it's just where all the culture is, and isn't it, all the history, and that's what they want to do. They just want to destroy everything. Probably like Liverpool, Birmingham, Scotland, sorry, Glasgow. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's like, there's no way I could ever prove that. This is all just absolute craziness, and people will say that, but it's just a feeling, like a thought that's gone to my head where I'm just like, I don't understand. And that might explain why the king had to go into Islam. It's because, let's actually do this. Why am I forgetting? When did Pakistan become Pakistan? Pakistan. So Pakistan. I mean, its population is like 240 million. It's just insane. When does it form? And that's the thing. They would do that, and this is where, again, you're going to have this like really dystopian view because let's say they did that, Pakistan will probably, yeah, would be wiped out. Possibly some of the countries in Europe might get hit. They probably won't get wiped out, but it may seriously damage like some of the capital cities. And it would be like the worst thing ever. It would be like 9/11 times a thousand. And The Muslim community would lose 240 billion, a million, so they'd still have like 1.7 billion people, Muslims, and they would all cheer, they would all love it, and they would all be exonerated as well because they'd be in different countries. So to them, they'd just be like, yeah, well, that's the different Muslims. We didn't do that, but they'll cheer, they would love it. They'll be like absolutely going hooing, and they would want that. And I think that's probably what's happened is they've made like this like conscientious like thing to just spurred by Pakistani movements. So someone can tell me this is actually it's been around forever. Uh, 1947. That's interesting. No. When did India invent nukes? 74. Pakistan. I mean, already you just got like a question of just we've got a country here which just has nukes, so you don't know. I mean, I don't know how much jurisdiction they have. Like how much jurisdiction do America have to like stop countries from Pakistan just moving nukes to other countries? We just don't know. Even if they do like, and if that's ever stopped. I mean, what kind of weaponry do they have? Well, they won't. We don't know. But I'm gonna assume they probably do have like ICBMs. So they've got 170 warheads. So that's plenty. That's plenty to take out. Yeah, all of Europe. And their missile range is 2,750. Where can that go? Well, they've only got missiles that can go. Well, I say only, but about 1,700 miles. How far is Pakistan? These are like these are the searches that like just keep me up at night. Where's Pakistan from Israel? It can do it. It's literally about the same. How suspicious. How very suspicious. So I might be wrong. They can't take out Europe, but I'm sure the Western world is being held over a barrel, and they're just literally the Muslims are like, we really do not care. We hate Islam so much, Israel so much, we will just fire the nukes. We don't care. Like, and Israel are probably saying, "Don't do that, please, please don't." But they don't care. Because they know they think that when they die, they're going to go to heaven and be rewarded with like the virgins. So they were just going to say, "Look, if you don't." And I've seen a lot of memes as well coming from like Yemen and stuff of people like posting like images of like Israel covered in mushroom clouds. And I was thinking that was a very interesting. I never really saw any like images like that because I was thinking that's not really the technology I'd think that you would have in Islam. So when I then saw that and noticed it, I was like, oh my god, that this could be a again it could again be why all these like. Well, I don't think most people know. Again, I don't even think it might not even be true, but doesn't that sound interesting? If that was the case, like they're just being, you just kind of being like insane, isn't it? Um, yeah, it's stupid because I think I was saying this is that I sometimes do just want to chat, and it's like annoying because I have to like use this like ridiculous conduit to do it. I can't just like because I'm waiting to get like a new PC because I actually probably would like do some like streaming where I'm actually just watching stuff and commenting because I've got a lot to say about some stuff, but like doing it like this just seems stupid because it's like people just gonna watch it and they're gonna be, why do you keep talking? I don't come here to watch people talk. But anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? But that you got to ask yourself that kind of explains a lot, doesn't it? It explains why the king had to uh, kiss the ring, I suppose, of Islam. Um, it explains why there's two-tier policing because they're going to get told by the top brass, don't attack any Pakistanis. Why not? Oh, just say it's racism, or you might get sued. But actually, it's because they know, yeah, don't, if you let the natives fuck with any of the Pakistanis and the Pakistani community finds out, they're just gonna fire all the news. And that's why it might get, and that's the thing. So it might get to a point where, like, I don't laugh, I'm laughing because it's so fucked, but like, if the people go against the Pakistani community, we might get the armed forces actually like shooting at our own men to protect the Pakistanis, and that's when we will know. And that's what I'm saying. You'll say the layman's will just go insane and be like, I can't believe what's happening here. Um, but they'll know it's because, well, if you do, they're just going to blow up Israel. And some people might say, well, who cares? But it's not because it's like they'll blow it up and with extreme force. They'll just probably shoot all 100, like 100 nukes, just to make really sure. Let's actually see. Let's type it in. What would 100 nukes do to the world? What would 100 nukes do to the world? Yeah, so here you go. A fraction of the global arsenal cause a nuclear famine, put up to 2 billion people at risk. So you have a quarter of the world probably going to starve. The effects would not be limited to the combatant nations, but would trigger a global climate disruption, creating a catastrophic nuclear autumn or winter. and that's only 100 Hiroshima bombs, which are tiny. And again, Islam don't care. They don't have our values. They don't care. They see everyone who isn't a Muslim is an infidel, which is why I think the king has to like convert, because it's the only way that maybe like the Pakistanis aren't gonna kill us all, is just because the king is technically Islamic, or he's trying to be in Islam, and he's not allowed to tell anyone. He's not allowed to tell anyone. Celebrities aren't allowed to tell anyone. That's why you're seeing that woman cry, because she's probably again she's just completely she can't do anything. She's being told she has to just give all the money to the immigrants. She probably knows she's fucking the country up, but she probably knows deep down in her heart that she's like doesn't want to do it. And maybe she is a capable like accountant at Exchequer, but she won't. She'll just probably keeps getting like messages from these, and I've seen like meetings where these Pakistani guys just like keep coming into like very important places in England and just being treated with like the most decadent like treatment. Why? Because they've got nuclear weapons and they want to blow up Israel, and they know if they blow up Israel, it's the end of the world. Well, it won't necessarily be the end of the world, but it will be very different, and it could be the end of the world because we don't know what the retaliation would be. Because Pakistan, it's not like we're gonna all coordinate and just know to nuke every single Muslim country. It'll just probably be like Pakistan will just get absolutely bombed the fuck out. But then Israel will be gone, so basically most Jews will be gone, and like that'll be fucking horrendous. That would be fucking horrendous. But you got to give me one good reason why Pakistan, a Muslim country, would not use its nuclear arsenal on Israel without some reason. If you're going to say to me it's because they will get bombed and die and they'll blow up, they don't care. They'll all be prepared to do it because they probably brainwashed them all to like say like if you can take out Tel Aviv and destroy Israel, you'll all go to heaven. It's like you're all going to be praised. So they just don't care. They'll happily just sit there and wait for the nukes to come and blow them up, knowing that for a few minutes they can like live knowing that Israel's fucked. And the West would hate it. They'll look at it and they'll be so shocked. They'll be like, "Oh my god!" But they wouldn't. They'd all be cheering. It's before even after Pakistan had been like nuked to fuck. Um, they would all just cheer. They'd be like, "Yeah, it's gone." And all the Muslim countries would be like that. And you'd have Hassan Piker who'd love it. He'll be annoyed that Pakistan got destroyed, but he'll be really happy. And it will cause an absolute shit show. So let's be honest, let's like actually talk about that. So probably like in a personal from here, we wouldn't trust any. So immediately like people would just not trust. We'd probably declare immediately like Islam is like a terrorist state or whatever it is. Immediately, um, it'd be a lot of shock. Uh, the devastation will be absolutely like nothing anyone has ever fathomed ever. You just like see these like probably like plane footages of like the crater which Israel will be in. It'll just be absolutely fucked. It'll just be like fire, uh, tons of like rubble, not even rubble, just be absolutely atomized. Um, that would probably fuck a lot of the Middle East up, but again, I just don't think they care. I really don't. They wouldn't care because it just seems the playbook just is just to reduce everything down to like rubble, and they just win by like brute force because it's not in there. I don't know how they managed to make nukes. I don't know how that happened. How did they drop the ball on that? That might be the biggest fuck up that the history man has made. Forget the Russians, because that's different. Their power is all different. Russia's just like more like a bit more totalitarian and they're just very like power based and yeah, they've got their issues as well, but they're not just like insanos where like Putin will just decide to do that because that's it. But it's not like that. I think that's why a lot of Jewish people uh, as well leave. Because I think deep down they know that's probably a reality that could happen at any point. It's just Pakistan will just open fire. Because that's my only thing is that like yeah, so um, it'd be like, and immediately it'd just be like a huge state of emergency. They'd probably like tell everyone, like again, and that's probably why they're doing COVID lockdown because they're trying to test everyone because they know like when those nukes start coming down, even though it's mainly going to be in the Middle East and Asia, they'll probably for precaution are going to say like, yeah, we're going to have to just like stay in our houses for like to make sure none of this fucking nuclear fallout's going to kill us or give us cancer. And then you've just got like I don't know, you've got all this crap. You've got like if it happened in Pakistan, if Pakistan was destroyed, you've got like depending on where the wind blows, you've got either India or you've got all of like China that are just gonna get like absolutely reamed. Um, the amount of deaths would just be extraordinary. It'd be absolutely extraordinary. It'd be like about 400 million people just gone. And I think that will take, it'd be unfathomable for like most people to really process how just colossally evil and bad what's happened is. Yeah, it will be like, it would just be marked as like, again, like the worst day ever, like worse than 9/11. The Muslim community would love it. And it would just then, that'll be it. It would probably become a full war against all nations of the Middle East. So at that point, they probably would just have, yeah, it would just be the Holy Wars at that point. It would just like be a full invasion of just like, uh, because I don't think they would want to use nukes again against them because they know the Muslim countries don't have nuclear weapons and they wouldn't want to contaminate any more. So it would probably just be yeah, like foot on boots on ground. But I think you would probably get a lot of morale. So you might even get like a lot of like younger men wanting to actually support it because they would just see like Islam being like the enemy of the state, and it would just get a lot of people being like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's just sort this out." And then it would just end up being a full eradication probably of like anyone. And China would join. Actually, we'd be an ally. So that could become a thing where like yeah, actually there's a change in dynamics, and then that's actually how America and China and like Russia will become like friends. Is because it's fucked up to say, I know, but I have an ability to see into the future. How long have we been talking for? I don't really care. An hour and a half. It's my therapy. Um, but no one will ever believe me because it's all just shit. I got nothing to back it up on. But it just makes you think, doesn't it? Like how I think I'm just trying to distract myself because I know that March is going on. I'm just really praying nothing crappy is going to happen because we are on such tenterhooks at the moment. Like there's already this the black community still don't even think that they've got off the hook because people are still annoyed at that Iran thing, as rightfully they should. I think America's just gonna like when Trump's gone and the Zoomers are like the kind of real power, which will be in the next 5 to 10 years. It will be very, very different. I think you're gonna have like segregation zones if they're not already being deported. Um, I think like a lot of the Zoomers are just very fact driven as well because again they've grown up with like using social media, so they don't watch legacy media, been brainwashed. So they'll just get rid of people who they just feel as liabilities. So people is like the Muslims who just like there's like half of them just don't work. They'll get rid of them all, and they'll just get rid of like all the Americans will get rid of all the black people because they'll just be like fed up with them. And there's going to be no one to care because when like all the black people say you're being racist, there's going to be like no old white people to like say. All the old white people are going to be the ones who will be like are the racists. Racist won't even be a word; they'll just change the that term. Like it's going to be like the word gay. Gay won't mean what it means happy. They'll just be like, when you say someone's racist, it means patriotic, and they'll just destroy them. It'll just be like, oh no, our one white playbook is gone. we we had a good 50 years using the racist card on white people, but then like their kids grew up and they just thought, fuck it, we're right. We managed to build space rockets and all this technology. I'll give credit to the Asian people as well because they're very smart, and like I have a lot of respect for like China and Japan. It's the other races that letting us down. So the Zoomer Waffen, yeah, it's going to turn into like this. But we laugh. That's why I drink. I think you got scary thoughts in your head. And that's why I drink. I was having good fun with this actually. Um, I think I've still got a little bit to beat out of it just before I can like move on to like what am I gonna play next? I might play Rebirth of Souls a little bit. Because I unlocked the new Leon, and the new Leon is sick, but the new Ada is fucked. And you're gonna be like, maybe I'm using her wrong. People yelling out in the chat. I don't like the submachine gun. I said it. Her guns are whack. Pinstripe Leon, very cool. Like there's that Tommy gun, beautiful gun. The shotgun, beautiful. Ada, not so sure. So let's see. Well, I'll try again with her. Oh, she has got the RPG, but I do think that you don't. I don't know if you can pick that up. I guess I could put the scope on the other gun, to be fair. Yeah, they used to have like Tofu. I wonder where he went. I was always so confused because when I was a kid, I didn't even know who it was. So like, because it hasn't really become big. I'm talking like when I played like back in the 90s, I suppose, when I played Resident Evil. I know you had used the cheat engine because I could never be fucked at it. And so I was like, what the hell's tofu? And then just like you'd be walking around, it was like it was like it just looked like a white block. I was like, what the fuck is that? And it's like, yeah, they just didn't have tofu like in the 90s. Like sushi didn't really become massive until like the 2000s, I guess. I mean, I remember the swab of like sushi, like in the early 2000s, when it was just like, God, everyone and their fucking sister wanted to go try it, didn't they? It's like the supermarkets sold it, it tastes like ass. It's like they still sell it now, it's just not as exciting. Alright, let me use the lid. like they all get like personalized music. Like Alien gets like the cool, like sexy, sort of like, you know, femme fatale like music. Oh yeah, yes, I know French. It might be easier on this level, to be fair, because I did use her on like the last level, and I'm pretty sure those guys are harder. This is the music. It does sound like it really typical, like, you know, something you hear on like Sonic the Hedgehog or something. Like Hubworld and Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh god. Yeah, dude. Just punch you. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, I get it. Good for headshots, yeah. I mean, this gun is sick at the headshot. That just takes too long, in my opinion. Ah, you bastard. Sprayed his ass everywhere. I love that in like Conker's Bad Fur Day. That game was like so ahead of its time. I remember how happy I was when my dad decided to allowed me to get Conker's Bad Fur Day when it came out. Like, because I think it came out like it came out very close to my birthday. I saw it and I was just enamored by it immediately. I was like, this looks really fun. Because there was just a picture of him drinking a pint, like a British pint. I was like, oh, how very patriotic. The Americans don't really drink pints. They'll have like 440 milliliters, please. No, they say ounces, and like fluid ounces. I drink a fifth of vodka. Like, what does that mean? Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh my god. Ada's a genius. I had no idea I did that. Okay. Don't go in that house. Yes, plastered his arse over the game. Ah, imagine throwing a Molotov. Look, and do you think that's how she'd get off? She just like has a perfect skin after getting fucking flaming petrol doused on her. No, she'd be all blistered and ruined. Popped his head like a zip. Fuck's sake. Well, I mean, you can't even have like any respite. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna save that RPG because I know there's a point where there'll probably be like two chainsaw fuckers. I'll try and get them both in the old nut. Get them in the nut. It means get them in the head. I like that. Just get out of my way. Yeah, I like the action replays because they used to always. Oh, sorry, cheat engines. Because the cheat engines gave you like different types of cheats that you just couldn't get normally, like sometimes in the actual game. And sometimes some of those cheats were like so sick. But in my opinion, I think like one of the best cheats I've ever seen in like a video game has got to be like the debug mode in like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3. That was just so mind-bending at the time. Like, it basically just allowed you to just kind of like add sprites or enemies or whatever you wanted. You couldn't like you could add like you couldn't like actually edit the levels, like delete what was already there, but you could add stuff. And it was so sick. I remember just how much time I'd spent just like doing crazy shit, just like spawning 100 like bee enemies, just like watching them. Like, it was so good. Oh, you got saved. I need more time. Oh, you bastard. No. Oh, no, no. This isn't good. Oh, for fuck's sake, can I have a second, man? Oh! Oh, God, just let God. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Ah! Look at that arrow. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't have a second. Oh, God, oh, God. Ah! No. What? Ooh! No. I love gum. Fuck. Not very ladylike, is it? Got your enemy. Fucking pig. Look how many grenades I get. Do you guys enough? Remember to use the rocket launcher. Uh-oh. Oh boy. How? Oh great. The Chainsaw Brothers are here. The Chainsaw Brothers are here. That's how you do it, dude. That's exactly playbook. That's literally how, like the prankster playbook. Take this. Look at me, I'm decked out to the nines. Oh, fuck this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Look how angry they look. They didn't want to be here, mate. Oh boy. Oh, that is it. I love nuts. Oh, I'll take my balls. Oh, here comes Chainsaw Head. Did he die? Are you just allergic to dying? Oh, balls. I love calm. Die. Die, monster. Jeez, bloodstains. Ow. Die, monster. Oh, of course it is. Just when I'm slaying ass. I bet that cuts my head off. No. I did it! I'm the king! Queen. There's one fucker left. Oh.
And that's the game.
Okay, well, I eat my words. I eat my words. It was just the stage. Okay, you want me to say it? Unfortunately, it takes you like a while to get good at the characters. I know that sounds crazy to fathom, but it does. Like, I'll be honest with you as well, I haven't even used a lot of like submachine guns. I mean, I don't want to like sound like ungrateful, because I think this mode is good, but I just think because they went to such lengths to have so many characters, I think it probably would have been apropos to probably have like, I don't know, a minimum of 6 or 7 stages. That would have made it perfect. I mean, already it's like a, you know, good at 8 or 9 out of 10 game, because it's just like, it just lets you fuck. It's just like basically like a horde, and everyone loves horde mode. I think like the things people need to go back to is just like games where you just have horde mode. Like, it's really fun to just like fight like waves of enemies, especially if you've got like a really satisfying game with like really fun like fighting mechanics. I'm trying to think of a game like I played recently a bit like that. I'm just looking at the games. I'm like, I love that I've just got Monster Hunter Wild. I played that game to fuck when it came out, and I just got so sick of it. I have no desire, even now, to go back to it. I just played it so much. Maybe I should go back to it. Has it been time for me to go back? I could go back. I just fired goon juice all over my TV. You get these bots that just like your shit from like 100. Hang on, let's just look at the news. Let's make sure no shit's happening. I think we're okay. Uh-oh. We have got some mask Antifa groups. So, I mean, I can do a little bit of like this. So, we've got a comment. The guy's profile picture, his name's Dozer. He looks to be like Arab. He says, let's be honest, these fascists will suffer without the diversity they hate. And it's... I don't want to like say that this is like the level we're playing at. So there's a guy who's wearing like the Union Jack, sorry, the St. George's Cross, over like his back, and he's kind of like proudly wearing it, and he's buying curry from a curry stand. So his argument is basically like, we won't be able to survive because we can't eat curry. And I'll just say it there. You know, China steals a lot of our stuff. All I say is China steals a lot of our stuff, right? And they just make it in China, you know. That's how they've learned it. They've learned to send in Chinese infiltration units to go in. I don't want to sound racist to Chinese, but they're smart. That's why I can't trust these the Asian girls, because these Chinese girls come in and they seem to just want to kind of again destabilize, because they don't want to have kids with us. And they just kind of want to like, I don't know, they just want to like, sleep with our men to distract them from like having other. I'm not going to put it past these guys. Again, you guys say that's racist input. You can't put anything aside. Anything is fair game to them. Every day you hear some crazy shit, and you're like, oh my god, how did that happen? And then I'm saying shit, and you're like, nah. You want to know my other theory? There's a huge scandal that was going around in the UK. Because we were just blatantly finding a lot of Chinese students were just going to universities and just stealing our shit. And again, we're talking about like what's happening to all of our smart guys when they go to university. They're turning into like these weird leftoid terror. Well, I don't want to say that, but I wonder if he's got good insight into the inner workings of our university structure, and openly is declared to just be recording it and just sending it to China. Ooh, well, guess who's going to probably be like the next big enemy against the whites? It's the Chinese, because they know that the blacks and the... I'm turning to Nick Frenches. It's like no one really talks about how much of an ethno-state China is. And you know why that is? It's just because they've just made being an immigrant there the most unhospitable thing anyway. And also, like, the culture is just so different that, like, Chinese people don't mind because they don't know any different. But, like, if you just come from, like, a non-Chinese background, you'll find it really difficult to acclimatize there. Not to mention that you're just always going to have, like, horrible racism because, like, a lot of Chinese people just don't. I remember going to China and I was white. People will just like follow us because we're white, because it's just different. They've never seen a white man in real life, because China's so fuck off big, and just a lot of them just can't afford to leave. And they don't want to. There's nothing wrong with them not leaving, but they just don't ever desire to like, leave, because they just live in like the middle of China. So like they live so inland that it takes them like a couple days to even go to the beach. So they might never have actually gone to the sea. Like you do not know how big like Russia and China are. They're just unfathomably huge. Like I live in the UK, and you know, it's a ball ache if you want to drive to Scotland. It takes you like 8 hours on the motorway. Fuck that. Like I feel like the state of like Texas is like the size. There's a couple sizes of fucking the UK. And then Africa as well. Like, the thing is about Africa is it gets the short straw, because when you see Africa drawn on Mercator maps, so Mercator is essentially just a format they use to just make like a way for you to just draw a sphere onto a 2D object, into a 2D format. So what you have to do is it just warps the perspective of it. So if you think like the countries near the equator, they're going to be... Oh my god, I've got fuck all time. Jesus Christ. Too much belly aching. Where's all the time? Dum, 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 dum. Uncle Fester. Dum, 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 dum. And also, like, knowing the map is quite an advantage. Oh, you son of a bitch. That is it, you little creep. Uh-oh. Probably. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. No way. Oh, great. I love him. Oh, this isn't good. I love cum. Oh god, this is an asshole nightmare. Oh, what did he do? Oh, there you go. I'm fucked. I'm actually fucked. If I get so much as licked, I'm dead. Shut up! I'd give anything to this fucking... Oh. You idiot. No, I need that. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Oh, why? It's like some fucker behind me. Ooh. Oh. popped his head off, is it? Fill him up. Fucked him up. Dude just fucked his ass. Play with my sack. What? Oh my god. So extra. I love calm. We love immigrants. We love immigrants. Ah. Yeah, so anyway. I love immigrants. Oh, sack and balls. Look at this. I love home. I love calm. I mean, how bullshit is that? It's like 80 times you do anything wrong. It's just gonna fuck you. Ha ha, hilarious. Okay. Oh! Blow me. Blow me. Oh my god. They'll just kill you in one hit. What happened there? I love calm. Oh god. Play with my Zag, play with my Zag. Play with my Zag. Play with my Zag. Ah, who else wants some? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I love gum. Play with my Zag. Oh, I love calm. They're just playing the heroic music, so knows I'm gonna win. What was that? It's playing the heroic music because it knows it's what it wants. Why isn't it a charge? Oh man. Well, that was a shame. I love calm. I love calm. This is full Earth. I love calm.
Time's up.
Time's up. Who's in there? Just clear on Pinstripe. Fucked. Why didn't I? Oh yeah, I didn't kill them all of them. It looks like Nicholas Diori. Oh, what he was. Yeah. And I'll explain to you why. Because I think if they had a fifth stage even, at least you could have unlocked it, the new characters, and then it's like you could have played a new level with them as well. Because it's just like what happens now is like you're just gonna end up like playing the next 4 levels as the 2 new characters, and you just get really bored of them. Right, so if you just had one more level, but you had Pinstripe and Dress, you could play as all the other characters, and you'd kind of like be able to like interchange. But I'm a stupid white man, so what I... You want to hire someone from like Uganda, they probably got some cool shit. We're gonna have some cool Ugandan stuff. Hello, I would like to... No. Well... No. But it's like I always say. It looks like it's going okay, which is fine. Oh shit. There's actually some flies. Fuck off the Gaza! Jesus Christ. There's so many people. The police are fucked. Like, to give you some context, there's allegedly like about 2 to 3 million people at this place at the moment. The police could do fuck all. If they actually generally just everyone in that place, just like, I can't even say, but if something happened and it caused them all to spark up, that's it. London would be fucked. London does not have the capacity to do that. Everyone in that riot theoretically could just swarm the whole of Westminster even. And that's actually the worrying thing. This is the alarm that I think Starmer needs to hear, is that if it does go to shit, there is this many people who will come to London and they will protest. And that's the thing. Because there's one thing saying shit behind a keyboard, but there's another actually going to it, and I know that's. And I'm sorry, the only reason I don't is because I live in a very white. I know, I'm starting to wake up, but I'm aware. I would probably be there if I was like in one of those areas where it was really rampant. It's not really a good enough excuse, but I know. I don't know. The Charlie Kirk situation just did freak me out a little bit. But anyway, it looks like the police are trying to like stop some of the Antifa gangs, and it's very clear they're not able to handle the people who are on like the Tommy Robinson side. Just like, why is nothing happening? Oh, what? Uh oh. I literally knew I should have done that. No one. Ow. Oh my god. Couldn't even do anything. Just play some music like gracefully for that girl. Just gets her neck pop like I said. Pick up shit. What's that even do? Just antagonises everyone. Oh, I love calm. Is that it? Oh, I love calm. Where's the other one? You idiot. Stimpy, you idiot. How was I supposed to know you're gonna get 3 cannonballs? Is that it? You can get that. That's the story of my life. Yes, we do. Oh, just forget it. Just fucking forget it. Just fucking forget it, mate. I'll play something else. Police are just arresting people, apparently, just walking down the road. Told you. It's because they're nukes. Takia! I like to like fuel the fire. So I like to just like put comments in. That's just kind of like rage bait people. So there's a video that says Keir Starmer's police beat up British patriots in London. There's all these white guys getting beaten the fuck out by the police. And I just wrote, this is a normal day for me being white in the UK. And you know there's going to be a few like foreign people get really wound up with that. Like, well, there's bombings in Gaza. And I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. Got me there. All these like Muslim bots just trying to like gaslight everyone. It's fucked. I'm telling you, I'm not allowed to talk about it. You know, every time Hassan, he yells and he's like, "Oh, the goddamn Jews are getting all these paid actors to like just pretend to spread all this anti-Zionist, anti-Muslim stuff." It's not. They're the ones that do it. It's them that are doing it. The Jewish people aren't hiding that their famous people are like high up. They don't hide. They declare proudly that they're the CEOs of these places. I mean, it could be some arguments about how they got into power, but so what? At least it's not literally like big Islam just paying. Like, it looks like they're just paying people. Like, they'll give them like probably like $10,000, and that's like loads of money. You know, so they just go on X and just fucking just try to destabilize the country. They've got the money because they got it all from oil. We just have no idea, because we just don't know if any of these nukes have been moved around. We don't know if other countries have been complicit with it. We don't know if like Russia's decided to, like, maybe in the 90s they decided to just give some nukes. We don't know. My only theory is that I just think they would have used it if they could. So there's something that's stopping them from being able to do so, and that's the thing that I think that's like. Wait, what should I play next? I'll play some Bleach. Ding. Ding, ding. But you just slandered, mate. Wait, but you slandered. So, like, here you go. This is your typical like, leftist argument. Someone's posted, today London is experiencing its worst ever rat infestation since the Great Plague of 1665. And it's got a picture of all the protesters. Someone called Callan Raves has said, that's a bit harsh on the rats, isn't it? Someone called Hugh Janis said, dysgenic mutant has all the socially acceptable views of his peer group. What a shock. And he's put his picture up. And then Callum has said, yawn, here's my copy and paste templates, all the cowards like you, you're all the same. And then he's put a Socrates quote that says, when a debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the losers. And then he's also said, another moron who hides behind an anonymous profile. So I have my face on my profile, and I said, but you slandered first. You said that rats are better than those who attended today's protest. He'll block me, or he'll come up with some logical excuse, you'll see. But that is what the left are. They're just not, they can't, they're the ones, they're projecting. They can't argue. They resort to the ad hominems. It's them. They resort to the ad hominems, and then when they get attacked, they cry that they've been bitten by the wolf. You beat the wolf until it bites you, so you can call it evil. To all my smart Japanese and Asian people watching this, this is the true shit, man. This is not like your Kai Cenat, you know, backshot buffet shit. I'm intrigued to see what he'll say, but the left won't be able to concede, so he'll just come up with some reason, like justification, or he'll just block me. He'll just block me. You know the person who's most hated in the world? It's he who speaks the most truth. It's just a hashtag too scary.